G'day. Welcome to Graves in Australia. Diecast salvage. What I'm playing with today is a Matchbox king size, or K1, the Hoveringham Foden S21 tipper. So, if you want to see what we do with it, come along with me to the workbench. We'll have a closer look at it and we'll go from there. So let's go over to the workbench. Well, I've just taken this out of the calcium, lime and rust, and yeah, the axles have cleaned up quite nicely. Might do a little bit of scraping there myself. So I'm undecided whether to polish this up or repaint it. But yeah. Alright, catch you in a moment. So, welcome to my work area. The rest of it's a crazy mess. Well, here we are with our Matchbox king size. Number 1, K1, of the Hoveringham Foden S21 tipper. It's in fair condition. Everything's there. The horn is there. The screen's intact, but it does have some red paint on it. The tipper part is there. It still has its tailgate. One of the fumble fingers will keep the tailgate and not lose it. It has the typical loose tyres. The theory is that the hubs shrink a little, which is quite possible. Both the arms, well, the failure point is these units here. Somebody has taken looks like sort of heated them up, I think, to try and keep the struts in place, but the ends are sealed. But I have something else in mind for those, because I don't have any spares and I'm too stingy to buy any. So I'll use something that that can be readily bought and far cheaper. So we'll be back in a moment to disassemble. Now, some of it I'm going to do on camera, and a fair amount I'm probably going to do off camera. So stand by. Okay, so this thing is held together by one post, which I've used the Dremel tool with the burr tool on it to take that up, just to take the mushroom off. And it has a tab down the bottom, or I should say in the front, because that goes into the front bumper. The rest of it is held in together by, if I get that to fall the right way so we can close it, is by mushroomed ends on pins. So like the wheels here, we're going to have to find the small side. Let's see if it'll focus. There we go. just that little burr there where my finger is. That's the smaller side compared to this side. So we'll need to do that on our hubs. The tipper pin, this part here, it's the same deal. You'll see that this side head is a bigger than this side. So we'll see what to see how we can get that one out. Now the tailgate itself, if we do it right, it should be just a matter of just bringing the sides apart slightly, and then the pins on the tailgate should drop. The screen is held in with the horns up the top, so we'll need to get the burr tool in there to take the top of that post off. But in the meantime, we can take these off. You can use, to reattach them, you can use super glue if you like to glue them on, or you can use the plumber's tape, white plumber's tape, if you don't want to glue your tyres. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8 tyres, 2, 4, 6, and we've got 8 down there. They are in reasonable, quite good condition. So we'll give them a wash in the poor man's wash machine. This part here I might just leave alone. We'll clean up the axle in situ, even though it is a bit wonky, but it's not too bad. It's not ground enough to pull these axles off, in my opinion. All right, we'll see. We can make these hubs turn a little bit easier, probably by putting a little bit of WD-40 on it. That will give it a bit of lubrication. So we'll put that in there. Now, all I'm going to do is, if I get the right side, I've just got to put my other eyes on. Sorry about that. Now, if you have a look at see if I can get this thing to go, there's just a little burr on the end of that axle, and trying not to hit the hub too much, is we're just going to use a little needle file just to go around that hub. There is a little barrel. You could use a little barrel on your Dremel tool to go around the outside. You know, use a bit of plastic with a hole in it to protect the hub. You can do all sorts of things to get them off. It just, whatever's your preference. You can, even with a needle file one side flat, so there's no filing on there, and that part can go against your hub, and the rest of it can file off the mushroomed end. So I've forgotten which tire I was working on. There we go, that one, I think. Me tinks, or was it one of the end ones? I don't know. Anyway, that's the idea. Just a matter of going around the end of the burr just to get rid of it. It's one of those ones where I don't like doing it on camera because fumble fingers. So I'll do the rest of this off camera and we'll come back shortly. Okay. This thing wasn't as bad to pull apart as what I thought it was. We have our axles off that need to be cleaned. That was the easy part. This front lot I am not pulling off, don't need to. I will lubricate the hubs and we'll clean up the axles in situ on that. Our tyres are in there. So we'll clean up the axles. So we'll just put them all together, put them in our safety kit so we don't lose anything. Will we fumble fingers? So just making sure all the hubs are with the right axles, or correct axles I should say. Now we have our horn, and it is intact, so we best not lose it. That goes in there. Here is our screen, and it is in good order. We just need to get the red paint off. So we'll put that in some Dettol or something like that. The tailgate, we just opened up the sides of the tipper a little bit, and just a little bit, just enough to let the tailgate actually slide out. So those two can go into the strippers. Now these are no good. So like I mentioned earlier, they were heated and closed off. I do have something in mind. Now, this was the part that I was worried about how to get off, but even Matchbox weren't able to put a complete mushroom on the other end, so it actually pulled out. So that made life a lot easier for me. So we'll be able to put them back in without too much problems. I'll just put them back into onto their axle or pinion point, so I don't lose them. Now again, this part here, which is on the main chassis, as you can see, there was one there and the pin went there. I only had to just grind the one where the tipper pivot on a little bit, and we were able then to pull it out. The one that held these black pieces in place just pulled out again, not enough on the mushroom end. So that saved me a lot of headache. So I will clean these pins and axles. I'll clean them off camera. It's just a matter of using a bit of sandpaper to polish them up, make them nice, and these 3 items, they can go into the stripper. So yeah, we'll do that next, and then I'll show you what I'm going to use to make new ones of these. So see you at the Gravesend stripping venue. Okay, we're in our stripping room. The boys are in the tavern, and we'll get ourselves wet a little bit at a time. No, we haven't gone over. The orange may take a little while to get off. It's usually one of the harder colours. So, a little bit hard to see what's happening in there because of everything else. And we'll catch you when we do our cleanup, because we've been with the strippers. Well, here we are, all stripped, and we're going to use our wire brush and our new scrubber to give her a clean and see if we can get a shiny. Now this side I restarted, then I remembered to press the record button. So we got the guys in the tavern, so this is why we have some jokes and we have a good time. So that's what it is. We'll continue the rest off camera. You'll see this thing in primer. So we've made our own decals, and what I generally do is I scan the vehicle on my flatbed scanner. In this case I just used the 26-point font in a word processor. Arial is the font type, and what I then do is print screen it, and then I put I'll try again. I scan this in, and then I insert it into the picture of this into a word processor, and then with the lettering again I take another screenshot, and then I see if it fits in to the area, and if that all works then we can print it off. Now I've recently bought a colour laser printer, so I've done the same thing here with that for that project, and we've put a clear coat over the top of the decal. They don't come off yet. We don't want you to come off yet, but of course it has. So let's go this way. Unconventional, the way I just did it, but it does work. So we'll do the same on the other side, and we'll try and keep fumble fingers out of the way. So we just wet the area. I don't use microsol or something like that, like some other people use. If you want to use it, that's fine, not a problem. It's just something that I haven't used. You don't need to leave the decal in the water for a long time. You just needed enough for it to loosen. And it's just about to come off the paper now, so that we can grab a hold and slide our decal out. And we just move it into place where we need to. Don't move it, don't touch it too much, because otherwise you'll screw it up. And Fungal Fingers has really behaved himself. Okay. Haven't mushroomed that wheel yet. So, in any case, I'll fix that wheel up off camera. You'll see this now at the reveal. See you there. This is just a reminder as to what I started with at the beginning of this episode. It is a Matchbox K1 or king size Foden Hoveringham tipper unit. And here we are now. Here is the reveal of our Matchbox K1 Hoveringham S21 tipper. There we go, tailgate's open. So what did we do with it? We stripped it. We've redone the tyres in that we cleaned them up. We've repainted everything. Put new decals on. So these are self-made decals. We masked off the grill area and the chrome stripes, so that was never painted, that was all masked off. And we painted it red and orange. The wheels, I decided to glue onto the hubs, but the thing is a roller. The other thing we did was we made new sleeves for the hydraulic arms, because the other ones were, as they say, knackered. So they've gone to the bin. It is a roller. So, leave a comment down below, share the video, like the video, all works for the algorithm. If you want to see more content, that's what you've got to do. Share, like and comment. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I have bringing it to you. Catch you next time on Graves in Australia Diecast Salvage.